President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that his administration is not influenced by any interest group, stating he has no cabal or sponsors. In a series of meetings aimed at strategizing ahead of next week's planned protests by some aggrieved Nigerians, Tinubu has engaged with party governors, traditional and religious leaders at the presidential villa. In press releases by spokesperson Ajuri Ngelale, Tinubu highlighted ongoing economic reforms, including social welfare initiatives like student loans and consumer credits. He also condemned protest sponsors and affirmed his government's commitment to economic recovery and security improvements.
Rising inflation, insecurity, food shortages, and a struggling economy are fueling planned protests by some aggrieved citizens across Nigeria under the hashtag #EndBadGovernance. These planned demonstrations, which are gaining significant traction on social media, are scheduled to take place in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory from the start of next month. Notably, the organizers remain anonymous, with no individual or groups officially claiming responsibility for the movement. But this has got the Nigerian government on its toes. It's been a busy day of meetings here at the presidential villa. President Bola Tinubu has been in back-to-back sessions. First, sitting down with governors from his party, then with traditional rulers from across the country.
For the very first time, the traditional rulers were properly engaged in terms of the plans of government and governance, their achievements so far, and where they're having challenges. It's a very beautiful take-home for us because we don't lock our palaces. We are more exposed to the people that we actually rule over, people that are out there to maybe protest. It's their right, civic right. But let them put a face to it and don't let it be hijacked by people that has ulterior motive. That is our stand. We condemn such acts fully. We traditional rulers are not engaged in people, especially the youth, coming out to start looting, to start breaking down law and order.
We will listen to our youth because the leads, the future, the power, the strength of Nigeria is certainly with the young people. We feel your pain. I'm a young person myself. It's been 24 years that I've been back, and it's been 24 years that I've sadly seen the nation going in a very unpalatable direction. But by God's grace, I think if you would give us the chance, this protest, I know that it's catching you very, very high in your neck. But if you give us the chance, let us not destroy our own country. I ask you, think of Libya.
The message we're taking back to our people is to be calm, to exercise patience, and also to listen to the words of wisdom coming from the traditional rulers, from the governors, because we have spoken to the president and he has given us the blueprint of what he has been doing over time. And we're hopeful, that inshallah it will be well.
He then concluded the marathon with ulamas, the Islamic religious leaders.
We have taken up what people are saying about the hardship, the insecurity, and what have you. And alhamdulillah, the president listened to us, so we are appealing to both Nigerians, Muslims and Christians, that they should be patient. Inshallah, a result will come out.
He has told us the effort that his government has been making to ensure that the economy of this country is placed on a very sound footing. He admitted the fact that, or he rather acknowledged the fact that things could be a bit tough now, and he likened it to winning a child, who is being exclusively breastfed. It's tough. He identified with Nigerians and their suffering, and he assured that it is for good. In the interim, he has promised more intervention to, ameliorate the seeming suffering of the people.
With growing public discontent, President Bola Tinubu faces a daunting task of restoring stability and reviving the economy. But his outreach to traditional rulers and religious leaders signal a recognition that their influence and moral authority will be crucial in calming tensions and rallying support for the government's agenda. From the presidential villa, Adesua Omoruan, Arise News.
Thank you, Adesua. Rufai, meetings and meetings from governors to now traditional rulers, and like the Oni of Ife said, it's good that at high time that the president is speaking with traditional rulers who are closer to the people. Your take on this story?
Good one, good optics. When is he going to meet the people? When is he going to meet the common man? The optics out there is that he's still meeting those that are high up. When is he going to meet the common man? When is he going to talk to the common man? Not everybody in the common man's blogosphere will be able to come to the State House. But you can meet us where we are. Traditional media, social media, anywhere. Talk to the people. Today, I totally condemn anybody that want to foment violence because you see, you can't say you're protesting and make violence the order of the day. You're causing more chaos. But the rhetoric of some government leaders too is very, very terrible. All of a sudden, we are hearing words about Oro trending. All of a sudden, we are hearing that Minister Wike in Abuja is saying that no, people should not protest, that they want to have something for traditional rulers. Are you kidding me? Mr. Wike is a lawyer. He knows the constitution of this country. There's a right for protest. You have no right to tell the people that they cannot protest. You can placate them. You can make them see reasons not to. But saying you want to host traditional, and you say all of a sudden, is that very day? No. I think we have talked ad nauseum how these same people were those that protested in 2012. When they protested against subsidy removal, they carried Jonathan's coffin. These same people. But nobody said anything about it because then it was a pain for Nigerians. Some of the reactions, like Mr. Wale Edun saying things are getting better. Mr. Wale Edun, things are not getting better in this economy. You couldn't tell us if subsidy have removed. You said it's been technically removed. What do you mean by that? You said inflation is coming down. Really? And we still have to raise interest rates? Food inflation peaked last month again. So when we keep making this analysis that things are getting better, like weaning off a child, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what you do speaks so loud I can't hear what you said. A lot of Nigerians do not believe in this narrative because at the same time you are spending ostentatiously. You have not given us resolution about the investigation in the humanitarian ministry. The president wants to buy his private jets. The lawmakers are feeding fat, are getting hardship allowance at the expense of people. So the narrative does not coalesce. All we are saying is make this country better. President Tinubu, engage the people. Good optics, you have talked to traditional rulers and those high up there, talk to the people.
Okay, it would seem to me that the Tinubu administration and the other members of the team have in fact been talking to the people. What the government is saying, which the president also reiterated, is that, look, they are not against protests. It is within your constitutional right to protest. What is not accepted is violence. What is not acceptable is anarchy. What is not permissible is for you to say you are protesting against whatever subject and you want to bring down the government. So I think to that extent, the Tinubu administration has demonstrated its commitment to the rule of law. And it has also gone beyond that to engage with stakeholders. And President Tinubu, in engaging with such stakeholders, whether with Richard Mills Jr., the new ambassador of the United States, that is, that presented his letters of credence yesterday, or with the traditional rulers, is that he himself was involved in protest. He wasn't specifically referring to the 2012 Occupy Nigeria protest. He was even talking about the protest during the Abacha regime. when he was part of the pro-democracy coalition in the days of Abraham Adesanya. Well, I can't say in the days. In the days when, you know, Professor Wole Soyinka led Nalikon. And we had at the barricades persons like Ulisa Agbakuba and many others who told, including the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Father Matthew Kuka, Father George Iwusani, you know, saying that, look, this country must respect justice, equality, and the rule of law. He was part of that process, and in that process, he went to exile. And then in 2012, when they had occupied Nigeria, okay, it was also a different method, but they were not directly violent. Persons like Pastor Tunde Bakari, you know, they were involved. They were not violent people. So what the government is saying is that you can protest. It's a constitutional right, but you do not have the right to impose anarchy on the Nigerian state. That's one. Number two, quickly, is that the traditional rulers are already saying, look, everybody should take it easy. The Ooni of Ife, who is the most prominent traditional ruler in Yoruba land, the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the leader of the Muslim Ummah in Nigeria, all the ulamas were there, including the missioners. I saw Dr. Ahmad, the missioner of the Ansarudeen mission society in Nigeria. You had the Dean of Agbo. I mean, you had the Oba of Benin also issuing a statement. So who else is left in this protest? But the government keeps saying that, look, all the leaders are saying, don't violate the integrity of Nigeria. Also, you have also had many NGOs, civil society groups, saying, yes, protest is a right, but violence is not a right. And I was saying on this program yesterday that even in the United States, the people who were arrested, the pro-Palestinians, the anti-Israel people who were protesting, what the chief police officer in Washington, D.C. said is that, yes, you have the right to the First Amendment, but you do not have the right to impose violence on the American state, and which was the reason why, you know, most of the protesters were arrested, either now or before now. And now again, you have the security agencies wading into the matter, the DSS, the DHQ, that's the Defense Military Headquarters, you know, and also the police and all the agencies. Now, the spokesperson of the Defense Headquarters is saying that they too will not tolerate any attempt to impose anarchy. I have heard some people saying, what is the business of the military with this? No. The military can be called in the aid of civilian authority under Section 217, sub 2C of the 1999 Constitution. If there is a situation whereby the integrity of the Nigerian state is affected, they might be called in. It could be for flood, it could be for fire disaster, it could be for even socio-economic crisis such as we face. Now, finally, who else is left in this protest? One of the points that the DSS statement by Dr. Peter Afunaya pointed out is that there is no known leader, but that they have done their investigations and they know the people behind it. So in the lead up to this protest, we cannot say that there is failure of intelligence. The state itself has come forward to say, we have intelligence, and they have the right to act proactively on the intelligence that they have gathered, so that they will not be accused hereafter of scaremongering. But because the gestation period has gone on for so long, all this may end up as scaremongering, and there may be no protest on August 1, but we will see.
All right, I think we've established a number of facts in the last few days and today as well. I believe we have also a guest who will be discussing in detail this matter.